Well, they have a quote that they say youth is wasted on the young, right? I don't know if you ever heard that one. So in retrospect, what that really means is that we always look back and say, wow, if we had that vigor and that, you understand, that verve to, get up and move and do certain things, if we realize how much capital that was at the time and what more we could have done with it. And I think a lot of the new kids coming up, they underutilize it. You understand? And when you kind of speak to them and say, listen, man, you have all these opportunities laid out in front of you. And, here's our roadmap. Look at what we have achieved and how we have gone there. You need to plan your own roadmap. You do get a little bit of, yeah, it's okay. We're going to run the world anyway, and we don't really need to hear anything from you. And to be fair, I mean, when we were starting out, and I was in my 20s, I kind of felt that way too. You know what I'm saying? We're sort of like, yo, we're just going to do this. I'm just going to make this kind of dancehall beat. I don't care. I'm going to take this artist from here. We're just going to plow ahead. You know what I'm saying? And kind of do what we want to do. Now, at the end of the day, the true metric is going to be the success, right? So that's my concern that I have for new people coming into the music industry or the music business, is that be careful of where you mark your metric of success, because you've got to be able to, at the end of the day, validify what you've achieved. And you're not doing it by showing me that I got 100,000 followers on Instagram. That's not a metric of success in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Like my video is trending on YouTube because, we got 50,000 views last night or whatever. These things are nice, but at the end of the day, it's not, what's the true metric of your success? What are you really aiming for? You understand? If you're trying to be in the music industry proper, like I realize now, of course, we're not going to sell records anymore. So we have to kind of change that sort of, that marker. But I think a lot of them need to understand that you need to push for within your own marketplace, the kind of goals that are going to define what you have done in your time. And I think that's the thing. I mean, you have a limited time space to sort of make that impact before the next generation comes and says, hey man, we appreciate you, you're great, but I'm 18 years old and this is my artist who I like, and he's 18 years old and the producer's 18 years old, and we just feel like it's our time now. So you're gonna get a lot of that kind of happens as you go along. So, it's just funny to me, because now when I speak to people and, some of the kids in the industry, and they're like, yo, elder. And, Jamaicans have this word to use, like, I guess you could say OG in hip hop, they say elder. You know what I'm saying? Like in dancehall or in reggae. And I laugh and I think it's kind of funny. I'm like, because to me, my elders are still Sly and Robbie and, Clevie and Danny Brownie and, Dean Fraser. These guys are still walking the earth. They're making music. They're right here. Those guys to me are the true legends and the true elders of reggae. You know what I'm saying? And dancehall. And it's just funny when those kids kind of said to me, and then I kind of realized like, hey man, it's like a step ladder. It kind of keeps moving up, you have to kind of realize that. So listen, you try and be there as much as you can be. You're going to get some kind of pushback. I think you got to do it from a place of love though in your heart, not from a place of like, well, I know better than you and I'm telling you this is how it works and what you're doing is wrong, get off my lawn, you know what I'm saying? That's the wrong aspect to have, the wrong way to kind of look at it, bro. I think you really kind of have to understand that you're going to tell them stuff, there's going to be pushback, they're going to reflect on it though, and it kind of comes back around. And I do get people that come to me and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like out of all of the elders in the industry, you're the one that has truly shared the most information and told me, sometimes it's just a little thing that you might say to someone. There's this guy I knew, he was a DJ back in the day, and he left Jamaica and we kind of stayed in touch, and I re-linked with him recently, and he's no longer like DJing or in music at all, and he kind of went into the tech world, and he was explaining to me like what he was doing, and he said to me, there's something that you told me once that really, really stuck with me that I've used. And I'm looking at him like, what's this guy talking about? Because I don't know anything about the tech world. He's like, no, it's not that. I said, you once told me we're trying to make some beat or something. I don't remember what we're doing, collabing on something. And I was trying to figure something out. Both of us were. And I think I told him at the time, I was like, listen, we're definitely going to figure this out because these guys, they're not smarter than me and you. They're definitely not smart. And he says, I've always thought about that. You said that next guy who's making that beat or doing that thing, he's not smarter than me. And he took that into the tech world to be like, hey, I'm this little Jamaican kid, left Jamaica and I'm working with all of these people with, you know, big degrees and stuff, and in this big tech world thing that he was working, this venture. And he said he just kept saying, like, none of these guys are smarter than me. There's no way. If they can figure it out, I can definitely figure it out. So it's kind of bizarre. Like, he has that. And I'm looking at him kind of like, I'm struggling to remember the actual quote, even the story I'm telling you guys. But the impact you have by just some little things that you might say with people at certain points in time, and how it carries them through their life, even into other, you know, fields and other, you know, occupations and stuff that you do. So to me, that's the healthy mindset. And I think it's a way of paying it forward. And I think at the end of the day, it allows you to actually still contribute, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. You know what I mean? So if I'm not on the road managing the hottest dancehall artists, but we're also, you know, behind the scenes, and we're still directing, and we're still pulling some strings, and still, you know, laying some groundwork, planting a few seeds, sit back, watch them grow, you know what I mean? And then, you know, we're constantly evolving, and we just say, okay, time to find a new role. You know what I mean? What am I going to do tomorrow, you know?